Nothing in this video is financial advice.
Hello crypto guys. So Bitcoin, when moon? That's the question that we're all asking at the moment. And I think this chart looks quite familiar to you now. By now I mean people have been speculating that is this formation that we're going through here pretty much the same that we're doing here, and Bitcoin will be falling down, but the latest candles have evoked quite positive views, also bullish views, the crypto space in Twitter and YouTube. And I felt like I could give my contribution and maybe a little bit of price forecasting as well, in terms of what the range could be, where we headed, and what's the timeline when we could get there. And in my opinion, the best way to look at the future, this is what I also do in my work, of course, I'm not a financial advisor or anything. I'm not doing my work in the like investing space. That's what I do as a hobby in free time. But in my work, when I do data analysis in marketing, I also look at our past data and create calculations and forecast expected results based on that. So in terms of my prior history and work background, I feel like the looking back is the best way we can try to forecast the future a bit. Now, just keep in mind that things won't be exactly as they were in the future in the bigger scale, but his history does have the this feature of rhyming. Things won't be exactly the same, but they do rhyme across the years. And here I want to look at if we would forecast the future of crypto and especially Bitcoin at this point, what would it look like if we checked it based on the prior cycle, the last cycle of Bitcoin? And here, what I explain, and we will build this to the upcoming future in a moment, but I'll just give a brief understanding for you on what we're gonna do. So right here we have the whole growth curve that is measured from, since you know the bull market started around here. I'm not using that as a data point in this one, but rather I'm taking the first big move, which is this all the way from here to here, from where we got the actual plunging of the price. You can see it a bit clearer like this. As you can see, this is way more dramatic than the prior ones in terms of the actual value of Bitcoin. And what we're doing here is I am treating this top as being pretty much the same as we have currently here at this point. I mean at this point. And this is the low that you saw actually also in the prior cycle, so I'll show it. So this is the low. And what we're about to do is we'll take this whole time period. This is 100%. Think about this in percentage wise. And then we take the dip period, which is 31 bars, 31 days, and we compare it to the big time scale, which is 188. And from that we were able to calculate how big the new parabolic cycle would be measured from here. And this leg up also, we're gonna look at that. So yeah, so just keep in mind the big picture is 100%. The shorter cycle, this is about 10%. And this leg up, which we're about to get, is about 25% of the larger cycle. And the rest that we are left here, that's the actual parabolic run. So we're gonna get another correction in my mind at some point. But yeah, so let's dive in and see how we could view the market. So basically, at first, let's focus on the data point that we actually have available here. So we do have the top and we have the bottom of this cycle. And it's quite like this. Actually, when I did the calculation just a moment ago, it was like 96 bars. So that's the length in days that we have. And this resembles about 18% of the entire cycle that we're going to experience. So this is the dip, if it is. I'm not saying we can't go lower from here. Obviously we can. But let's play around with the idea that this was the dip. So that's figured out. That's about 18% of the entire cycle length. And since we now know that this is 18%, from that we can actually determine that the entire cycle length is 530 days. You can check this out by measuring it from the prior cycle and calculating it percentage-wise to match the date ranges. So the entire cycle would peak around September next year. So in my estimation, we have about 1 year till the final peak of Bitcoin peaking and the market going down with it after that. But where in the cycle are we now? Since you must be thinking that this is not really helpful just yet for you. And believe me, I feel you. And that's why we're gonna go further. Because you see, we also in the prior cycle that we just looked, we also saw that the from the bottom, the next bull leg that we got from there that surpassed this one, it was 25% in range, which basically for us means at this point about 130 days. Sorry, actually 135 days. That's the correct number of days we're going after here. So there we are. So if we were to deduct the future of this cycle that we're currently in from the prior Bitcoin cycle, that would mean that the next leg up would take place before this Christmas. And basically after that I would say that we're going to get a dip down from here, depending on where we go from here. So new all-time high before Christmas and a dip from there after or around the time of the Christmas. This also leaves us with the upcoming actual parabolic phase that could take us up to let's see about the price in a moment, but the parabolic phase would last from after we get the dip here obviously all the way up to the next September, so from the current day almost a year still. But yeah, where would we be around the time of the Christmas? Let's take some kind of small benchmark for that from the prior cycle. So as you can see, let's take the price range tool and watch from here. This is the price point, when that got surpassed we actually went to new all-time high around here. And this, now we see the number a bit better, so it's about 63% rise in price. What would that mean by Christmas this year? If we take it from here, and 64% would put us around 100,000 Bitcoin, $100,000 Bitcoin, around that. So that would be possible based on this model before the Christmas. Now, one other thing that I find quite important and interesting here is because this cycle seems to have lengthened quite a bit. Some weeks ago, even BitBoy was forecasting that Bitcoin is going to dump last month latest. So, and we didn't get it. And if we go with the idea that the cycles are lengthening, what would it mean? It also means that we're going to get closer to the halvening of Bitcoin all the time. And what halvening has usually done for the price, if we take a look at it here, you know, even this cycle was initiated from the halvening, Bitcoin halvening happening. So basically what it means that the miners of Bitcoin start to, like, their mining rewards get halved, which reduces the circulating supply of the coin, which then again leads to supply shortages, which again will raise the price, you see. And this also was catalyzed by the halvening. It's not purely for the reason of halvening happening, but halvening does catalyze and is one of the big reasons why the price increases start to happen, because there's just not enough supply going around for the existing prices, which will cause the prices to rise. There will be so much demand in relation to what the price is currently. And if we look at, like, the estimated time of next halvening is around 948 days from today here. And where would it put us if I take the date range tool from here? 948 it was. So the next halvening would be somewhere around here. One day missing, but that's not so important. So if we think like how this cycle would go, this is where we already are, and if we get to 100,000 BTC by, it's around there, by Christmas, then we correct, let's say here, and then we peak here, which could be like anywhere. It's really hard to put a like price tag on the like in if I don't think anyone can like actually reliably say that they can forecast a price tag for parabolic rises like this. This is just beyond anyone's actual, like, yeah. No one actually really knows. People can make guesstimates, but that's about it. That's how I view it. So, but let's just say that Bitcoin goes somewhere around 200k, because from 100k I don't think it's too much of a like leap of faith to think that Bitcoin could double. Then again, like 100k from here where we are now, it's just almost like a little over 2x, and this is 2x from here, so that can be possible. Just depends on when will it happen. And what would that mean is when Bitcoin will actually correct from there, it usually happens quite violently, like let's say something like this. Where will it go? The correction might take this time, it might be even more violent, like this. But my actual point here is that the time that we have left here for the new accumulation phase before the next upcoming halvening, which is around here, this getting shorter, is just 585 days. And when you compare that with the prior cycle, which when it peaked around here, and then we had a like accumulation phase of 472, like here up until we start to see some like life for Bitcoin, and the actual accumulation phase can be said that it ended here where the new bull market officially got started. It was 819 days. Look at it, 585 days. So what I'm after here is that I don't see that we actually have that much time for the prices to accumulate, like flatlining in this way, that it happened after 2018. No. And this is like what I'm really interested in, because it might mean that we don't even have the time to dip so fast, or actually we will dip fast for us, of course, if we get the parabolic spike up, but for the prices to actually correct and to like find the new floor, there's just not enough time for it to flatline for that long. I hope you kind of see what I'm after here. So if the next halvening is going to catalyze us a new bull market again from here, this is just pure speculation. It could mean like if we go around here, well, what will be? Just drew some lines, but like you kind of see like when this corrects, it doesn't mean like we go even to these price levels where we are now. The best time to buy Bitcoin, like from now to the future, could really well be now. That really well could be the case. But that will be shown by the future. It will get revealed in the future for us. And in the meantime, since I'm actually myself investing more heavily into altcoins to get better gains than Bitcoin, because, well, you see, this, like from where we are now to 100k till Christmas, that's about 2x, and the cycle top could be, if it's like 200k Bitcoin, that's only 2x from 100k. That's not so much. I myself, I'm going after altcoins and diversifying myself to get better gains in the crypto market by getting those more like DeFi and crypto oracle type of projects. And to do that, to find the coins that have the potential to skyrocket in price, go 10x, 20x, 50x, even 100x. Some go even more. Just think about Solana, what it did some time ago. Just absolutely phenomenal gains. So how I'm finding these, I'm using the tool called Token Metrics, and if you want to learn how to use it, check it out. I'll leave a link to my YouTube video on how to use the tool. You get an insight into how I use the tool, how you can use the tool, and you even get to try the tool when you subscribe for their trial. So that's it for now. Let's hope for 100k Bitcoin by Christmas. See you in the next video.